All right, I did have an email that I wanted to highlight this week. So someone wrote in, said that they have heavy nostalgia for D&D. They were introduced to the game in 1980. Played a lot in high school. Usually play World of Warcraft, but they're taking a break from that for a while. Very intrigued by DDO and would generally enjoy playing some of the scenarios I recognize, like Keep on the Borderlands, Salt Marsh, especially Isle of Dread, one of the favorites back in the day. With my work life or my work schedule and life in general, I'd be playing solo most of the time. Is the game enjoyable as a solo player? What would be your advice as to which components to purchase for the best experience? I find the game shop a little confusing and off-putting, buying coins and then spending them on content rather than just paying for the features themselves. Thanks. Any words of wisdom from you two?
Yeah, I mean, for example, if that person would go VIP right now, they would have access to all of the content
Yeah, that
that
works.
aren't expansions.
Yeah, I suggest going VIP because there's just so much things that you get by going VIP.
It's kind of a good way to
Time to leave
start.
World of Warcraft. Have fun with DDO.
Yeah,
It is kind of a good way, I think, to get your feet wet, right? To be VIP, and it gets more access to things. Even if you just buy, like, I mean, 3 months is what, $30, something like that.
yeah, it's like 29 and some change.
Yeah. Uh, in terms of the solo thing, I don't tend to play a lot of solo. Or that's probably not exactly. I enjoy the game a lot more when I have friends that I'm playing with, than when I'm playing solo. Uh, but there are plenty of people that do enjoy playing the game solo, and challenge themselves as such as well. Uh, the store thing, yeah, I can understand the hey, I have to buy points and then do this. Um, there are my understanding is there are legal reasons why they do that, uh, so as to not create gambling issues, and things like that. I think if they my understanding is, like, with the daily dice in particular, like if there was a just straight dollar, like you were paying dollars instead of like having points in between, that there would be gambling issues there. Um, Same with like maybe chess reroll or something like that. In any case, yeah, VIP is a great way to start. Buy the expansions as you desire to. Just know that some of the expansions go on sale, or the expansions go on sale kind of at the end of the year typically. So I wouldn't necessarily say to go run out and buy Menace the Underdark or Shadowfell Conspiracy, for example. I don't think you need to buy them to enjoy the game in today's world, but they're a good thing to buy when they're 75% off and cost like $5. So stuff like that.
Yeah, you can definitely enjoy it solo. But I'm with you, Patrick. I enjoy it more with friends, but you can totally solo if that's what you like. I'm also going to say this. I think everybody here, I know at least me and Nimvin, old pen and paper players. I started playing, in the early '80s, and I love DDO. Now, as a pen and paper player, you're going to come in, hit the ground running. You're going to be familiar with the terminology, with stacking rules, things like that. But there's still going to be a learning curve. But that learning curve is worth it. That's one of the things that makes DDO worth it over other MMOs. Is its complexity.
Yep.
And just remember to have fun and this game when you're new to it, it's all about learning it and exploring it. Don't be scared to poke your nose in places and learn. Don't just go out and be an adventure and just learn the game, explore, and don't forget you pay to play your way. You know, just don't let anyone ruin it for you.
Don't be afraid to like throw up an LFM and or join other people too. It's not too bad. Um, I Love Goat is recommending pick a server with an active population. I can have a big experience. Yeah, if you're looking for people to play with, absolutely. Even if you're not, I mean, just having a bigger population, I think is pretty solid. Uh, it's still going to be a benefit from you, even if you don't play with people very much. But it is nice to find, if you're gonna play solo a lot, finding a couple people, some friends, or at least a guild, right? Like a good guild is going to be helpful as well. So there's benefits to being in a guild, even if you're playing solo. I'm sure High Lords has some solo players. We have some solo players in Lava Diver. So how do we feel about the current player base support for new players? I think that's asking how do we feel that the current player base supports new players? Generally pretty good. I don't have anything to compare it to because I don't play a lot of other games where there's a player base I don't play other MMOs.
This is one of the biggest pieces of advice I give to new players that show up on my channel is that when you start joining groups, tell everybody that you're new because more often than not, people will go out of their way to be helpful to you. They might give you a plat, show you around, explain a quest.
Yep.
Because we have a mature player base, the players have been around a long time. These are people who really love this game, and if they find out you're new, that they're gonna be helpful more often than not. And if they're jerky to you because you're new, well, then you just figured out who not to group with. But yeah, I think that DDO's player base is really friendly overall.
Yeah, and like I said before, just don't be scared. Learn from your mistakes and just keep going. Like keep exploring. This game is just fantastic. Just clicking around. Even in Korthos, like there's a painting that you can click in Korthos. There's all these small details and things that you don't have to be zerging with all the pro players. You're not there yet. Just learn the content and just have fun.